What's going on, guys? We are here with your betting preview for the NFC Championship game, the late game on Sunday, 6:30 Eastern, 49ers at Rams. So before we get into everything, let's just say none of the information or picks suggested in this video today are official VIP picks. You can get those VIP picks when they are released over at KofSports.com on Sunday. We will have single or individual picks available probably tomorrow in video form and downloadable Word formats. So basically go on there, see a pick that sounds good to you, buy it. You'll have access to the video or access to the write-up. All of the picks will include stats and analysis to go along with the prediction. So let's get right into today's video. Rams, 49ers. Let's take a look at how these teams got here. Take a look back to their regular season matchups, some trends against the spread, over-under, and of course, player props. So how they got here. 49ers finished the regular season 10-7. They went on the road to beat the Cowboys in the wild card round in a game that was pretty easy. Then they went on the road to Green Bay last week, cold and snowy for the California boys. They hung around, and they made big plays to come away with a 13-10 hell of a football game win for the 49ers last week. And this looks like a team that is legit and worthy of another Super Bowl trip. So they have won 9 of their last 11 games. And in those 2 games that they lost, they did have a lead in the second half in those games. So a few things go their way, and they're 11 for 11. So definitely playing good at the right time, and they've already beat the Rams twice in the regular season. So they do say it's tough to beat the same team 3 times in one season, but we'll get more into that in a little bit. So how the Rams got here, they are feeling pretty confident, even though they probably feel like they escaped with a win last week against the Bucs after being up 27-3. Tom Brady, the GOAT, always known for his comebacks, always known for not being out until the clock strikes 0. He came back, led the Bucs, tied the game 27-27, and then the coaching staff for the Bucs gave up, or the Rams made the play, but the coverage was not ideal for the Bucs. But Matthew Stafford linked up with Cooper Kupp on an absolute bomb to set up the game-winning field goal. So the Rams are feeling good. They have won 7 of their last 8 games, although the one loss during that stretch did come to this 49ers team that they will play on Sunday. So looking back at both regular season matchups between these two teams, the 49ers won both of them. So back on November 15th, 49ers won 31-10, and this was really Niners all the way. 14-0 early after a first quarter touchdown to George Kittle, and then Matthew Stafford threw a pick 6, which he has become famous for throwing. The Rams did respond in the second with a touchdown, but the Niners went on to score 17 unanswered to jump ahead 31-7 before the Rams decided to kick a field goal with 3:48 left to make it a 21-point game. And that's where the final score finished. So then January 9th, 49ers won 27-24. This one was almost an opposite script of the first matchup, where the Rams jumped out to a 17-0 lead. In this one, the 49ers fought all the way back in the second half to tie it 24-24, and then kicked the game-winning field goal in overtime. So one of the rare games where people say it's 90%, I think, the stat where 90% of the time the first team that gets the ball in overtime goes down and scores a touchdown on the first drive to win the game. This one was an example of where both teams played defense, both teams had chances to score. 49ers went down and capitalized, got that game-winning field goal. So they have won both of these regular season matchups, and they are underdogs on the road. 3.5 is where the line is set at as of Friday morning. I have seen it at 4 on some books, but 3.5 for the majority of the books. 49ers went 11-8 against the spread this season. Rams have gone 10-9 against the spread this season. Over/under is set at 45.5. So you look at those regular season matchups, they split with one going over, one going under. LA went 10-8-1 against the over-under this season. San Francisco has gone 8-11 against the over-under this season. Rams have averaged 27.6 points per game and allowed 21.6 points per game. 49ers have averaged 24.4 points per game and allowed 20.6 points per game. So, look, taking all that into account, looking at where these teams finished offensively for the year, I do think we could see a 27-24 finish in this one. But I do honestly feel that it could go either way. I think it's going to be a great game, really fun to watch. Haven't really decided which way I'm going to go yet, but I do think that this game is going to be a really good one. But let's get into some player props, talk about some of the trends to go along with where some of these lines are at. So starting with passing props, Jimmy G line is set at 228.5. He has gone 6-2 against this number over his last 8 games. He did throw for 316 yards against the Rams in their last regular season matchup, although in the playoffs, been a different story. He's got like that bone chip in his throwing hand. It's been cold, or last week was cold. The game against the Cowboys was obviously inside, but 131 yards last week, 172 against the Cowboys in the wild card rounds, 228. It's going to be indoor, nice conditions in LA, the site of the Super Bowl. So could be some value on the over, unless the 49ers game plan is really to keep Stafford and the Rams offense off the field. Then you would target probably some rushing props for the 49ers, which we'll get into in a minute. But 228.5, I'll probably take the over. Stafford, 277.5. He threw for 366 last week, but don't forget he had the bomb at the end of the game to set up the game-winning field goal. He has gone over this number in 13 of his 19 games this season, but fun fact, he did go under in both of the games against the 49ers this season. So there are your passing props. I didn't see any like funky passing props, but I'm sure that there will be some props put up about will a position player make a pass attempt or something, and that could be something that you want to target as a fun one, just because we've seen the 49ers do some creative stuff and trick plays. So I do think we could see something like a Deebo Samuel pass or some shit. So look for that one. That one could be fun. Getting into the rushing props, Elijah Mitchell, line is set at 72.5. He has covered this number, gone over in 5 of his last 7 games. The Rams do have a very good run defense. They finished with the 5th-ranked run defense. But Mitchell ran for 85 and 91 yards in the regular season against the Rams. So I do think that there is value on this over. I do think that the 49ers game plan to some extent will be to run the ball, try and keep the Rams off the field. But on the flip side of that, if the Rams jump out to a lead, then I don't think the running game is going to be the solution for the 49ers if they want to win the game. So that one could go either way, but coming out of the gate, my gut reaction is to target the over on that one. Cam Akers, line is set at 61.5. He has gone under this number in each of his last 2 games, which were his really first 2 full games back from his injury. He did run for 84 yards on the 49ers defense last season, but San Fran, again, has a very good run defense this year. They ranked 6th against the run. I don't really know how I feel about this, but seeing how he's gone under in each of the first 2 playoff games and just thinking that Stafford wants to light it up offensively, I'd probably take the under, which is a rare decision for me. I don't like to take unders, as most of you know, but seeing the stats in the first 2 games, probably go under there. As for receiving yards, the most obvious one, Cooper Kupp, 103.5 receiving yards. He did have a mediocre performance to his standards in the wild card round where he had 63 yards. But he bounced back in a big way last week against the Bucs in the divisional round. He had 9 catches for 183 yards and a touchdown. He did have 118 and 122 receiving yards against the 49ers in the regular season. Deebo set at 51.5. Deebo went under in his first 2 playoff games, but he did go over in 4 straight regular season games to finish the season. He had 95 and 97 receiving yards in both of the regular season matchups against the Rams. So 51.5, you know where I'm going with that one. Odell Beckham Jr., he has been a big part down the stretch, especially in the last 2 playoff games for the Rams. He has gone over 50.5 in each of the first 2 playoff games with 69 and 54. So that 54 is close, but hey, over in both of them. He did play both regular season games against the 49ers in a Rams uniform, and kind of a weird stat here. He had 18 receiving yards in both of those games. So I guess take that one with a grain of salt. But I'll be looking at how involved he's been in the offense the last 2 playoff games. Brandon Ayook, 49.5. He had 0 catches on 1 target a week ago. So why target him this week? Most of you will ask. But you do look back to the last game against the Rams, and he had 107 yards, so he more than doubled where his prop is set at this week. And he has gone over 50 receiving yards in 7 of his last 10 games overall, so that is a 70% trend. Hard to not like the over there. Getting into our final piece of today's video, anytime touchdown scorer props, and we have probably 2 of the best anytime touchdown scorers that were out there in the league this season, but Cooper Kupp and Deebo Samuel. So let's take a look at the odds. Cooper Kupp -145. Book it. He is the most likely player to get in the end zone, and that's because he has scored in 7 of his last 8 games. We know he led the league in receiving touchdowns this season, so good value there. Deebo! Now here's one. I was shocked. I thought he would probably be around 130, 140, -130, -140, but he's actually at even money. So I do think there's good value here. He scored a touchdown in 9 out of his last 10 games, 90% trend for you mathematicians. And he scored 3 touchdowns in the 2 regular season games against the Rams this season. So probably going to see Deebo get in the end zone, whether it's through the air, on the ground. Maybe he does the trick play, it's not there, and he takes off, creates a play, defense breaks down. Who knows? I do like Deebo at even money to get in the end zone. Elijah Mitchell, also at even money. Don't like him as much as I like Deebo, but he still has scored in 4 of his last 6 games, although he did not score in the regular season against the Rams. Long shot, ready for my long shot, +210 odds. Tyler Higbee, he had 2 touchdowns against the 49ers the last time these 2 teams met. And he also scored a touchdown in the first matchup. So 3 touchdowns in 2 games against the 49ers. So I do think there's value on him getting in, especially at +210 odds. I don't see any way that this line doesn't drop as we get closer to game time. So this video will be posted Friday afternoon. You guys might want to get on that one quickly. So that's what we got. If you want our best bets, you can check out KofSports.com. Our VIP picks will be posted on Sunday. We will also have individual single game picks in Word format where you can get the pick, download it right to your email or on your phone, or you can get the video picks where as soon as you buy the video, you'll get access to the video, be able to watch me talk about it, give you the breakdown, kind of like this, but more in detail with official picks. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope I shared some information with you guys to open your eyes, show you where there's some value this weekend. If you did enjoy the video, please like, subscribe to the channel, follow at KofSports on Twitter and Instagram. I wish you guys the best of luck this week. I hope all your parlays hit, same game parlays, whatever you're playing, whether you're with me or against me. I always wish you guys the best. If you have any questions on any player props that weren't discussed in this video, shoot me a message. I will get you the trends. I'm always here to help you guys out. I appreciate you guys watching. Enjoy the weekend and enjoy the games.